Hi. As we scout for land and do a due diligence on various properties over the last 5 years, we tend to learn a lot about the history of land ownership in this country. Last time I shared about what we've learned regarding Kajiado County. This week I'll be sharing about what we've learned about Laikipia County. You're watching Own Land in Kenya. I'm Solomon Wangwe. So one of the cool things I learned about Laikipia County, where we've looked for property in that side, is that its history goes as far back as the late 1800s. Many people might not know this, but even till today, most of Laikipia County is controlled by descendants of white settler farmers. These are men and women who traveled from Europe back in the 1800s and early 1900s, looking for new opportunities in this frontier that was now a British protectorate. Right? They came over looking for farming opportunities and all manner of economic benefits. And their descendants today, many of them remained after independence, and their descendants today still own the land they were allocated way back then. And it's not uncommon to find huge tracts of land in Laikipia County owned by a single family. For instance, Olpejeta, sitting on 90,000 acres, was once owned by a single individual. Not too far from there, we have Segera Ranch, which currently sits on 55,000 acres, only a few kilometers from Olpejeta. Some of these ranches span counties. Some of them sit in between two separate counties. And this is common in Laikipia simply because of the history. So over time, what's tended to happen because of the huge tracts of land and the changes in the land laws, especially after a new constitution came into effect in 2010, a lot of these huge tracts of land have been turned into conservancies. The reason for that, I suspect, is simply because if you have wildlife that are endangered species coexisting with people on these ranches and are protected, then one can't claim that they are idle pieces of land, and there's no danger of losing that land. And it makes sense. It's done amazing things for wildlife and tourism industry, because Laikipia, unlike Mombasa and the coastal regions, tends to have a very stable tourism cycle, because you have people coming in from all over the world to view our wildlife. Laikipia also happens to be pretty much one of the main areas where we get meat from. Livestock ranching is very popular in Laikipia simply because of the climatic conditions, and that's what tends to happen with the few ranchers who still control the huge tracts of land. So majority of us now, especially coming from Nairobi and other parts of the country looking to invest in Nanyuki, only have a very small portion of Laikipia County to consider, because that's the only piece that's available for sale. A very important thing to know as you're scouting for land in Laikipia County, because then you can appreciate the reason for different pricing relative to other parts of the country. Thanks for watching. I hope that information is helpful. If you have any questions about this, please feel free to get in touch with us. Send us an email. You can take a look at our website, www.goshenacquisitions.com. You've been watching Own Land in Kenya. I'm Solomon Wangwe. Stay tuned for more information on strategic land investment.